Hey guys, this is Rachel Feldman. I am so excited and laughing my ass off because I am here with my good friend JJ. I have known this girl for a long, long time. So happy to have you here. So happy to be talking about the Done For You programs. I think we just wrapped for like even 30 minutes before I hit the record button, laughing, talking, and that is what it is about for me, being a health coach, having this kind of community. So I just want to say thank you for taking time out today to talk about your experience with the Done For You programs.
Thank you.
So tell me actually, when was the first time that you bought the Done For You programs?
I think the first one I bought had to have been the spring detox from last year or the year before. I can't even remember. And I was like, oh my God, I've never seen something so organized. And after the spring, I got the fall, I got the winter, I got the revitalize. And I'm just like, I can't even wait for the March 10th release for the next spring.
Neither can I. But you know, the thing is that I love about you, and you and I have talked about this, and I think this is such an important topic to bring up, and we've rapped about this even before via email, is that so many coaches buy programs and then they don't implement it, or they only think a program can be like in one way. And what I love is what you've done in your business is really thought like outside the box and really have fit this into your niche, like found kind of your branding even through this, found like your voice. So it wasn't just like I bought this program and had to make this just this program. So can you even talk a little about like what you did?
Yeah, so I feel like my kind of peeps are like the ones who love kind of the simple, like juices, smoothies, detox foods, and they want to lose weight, they want to tone up, they want to decrease cellulite and belly bloat and all that stuff. And so I feel like I took the program and I was like, okay, what would I want to read? And then I kind of changed it and I like simplified it and put my voice on it. And it took me like probably 2 days. Like I looked at it, I did the program. That was number one. Like I didn't buy it and then I didn't do it. And then, so when I like started the group, online Facebook group.
Which is brilliant, which most people do not do.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, that's like the bread and butter.
Well, and you built a community. So I just wanted to define that. Like you didn't just create like a group, like you actually built a community to bring people into your community as well, right?
Yes. So we have like 300 people in this group, and like I like to think of it like we talked about earlier as kind of like a sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you have group support, you not only have like the facilitator, me, like saying, okay, you guys, you got this, like, here's a couple tips to make this detox easier. Here's to make it how you can use it if you're like a girl on the go. And then so like when you have that group support and you have everyone communicating, people are like sharing their recipes and posting pictures, and it's kind of like an exciting thing to see. And every group is different. And I feel like if you just stay the course and you do something that feels natural and like something that works for you, the program is just like amazing for anyone who doesn't have the time to organize something like that and like put all these recipes together. And when people say like, oh, did you create the program? I always just say like, well, it, has my flair on it, but I worked with a detox specialist and a professional chef to create this program. So that's like, kind of how it's like it takes so many people to create something. And it's also like I also create the program with people like you in mind and people like me who would actually do the program. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I think you even froze. I was like, oh, she's talking and I'm hearing something different. But it's interesting that you bring that up, because I don't think until you sit down or anyone sits down to write a program. I was saying to actually someone who does some of the copywriting for a page, she was like, can you tell me about these programs? And I was like, okay, let me explain. The basic and the rockstar I rewrite. And she was like, well, tell me like what's new. And I was like, the basic and the rockstar programs, I rewrite. And she was like, you mean everything? I was like, everything. She was like, you mean all content? And I was like, yeah, the guide takes me 2 days locked in my office to write the guide. And that comes out, I think it's like 20,000 words is the guide. And that's 2 days, like locked up, like sweat pouring off, stinky, stinky, like you're just drilling away. And, some people, that's their magnificence, and it's funny because having learning issues and writing was a horrible thing for me. I never wanted to do it. Some people, it's really hard and we never get to that place that we have a program. For me, why I created this and why I love that other coaches like you use this and I use this is that I found in the beginning of my business, like my clients were so past just a handout. They were reading they were reading books that I was reading. They were like, hey, have you seen this book come out? And I was like, no, but I better go buy it, and I needed just a simple step by step. And I love that what you said. It's like, you can chop anything down. This is just content. So it saves you like time. And so that you can even pull, somebody asked me like, how do you blog so easy? And I'm like, I go to an old program and I literally create a blog from an old program. And then that becomes, or I take a recipe and that becomes a blog. The whole idea of building, I believe that like visibility and that brand that you have, like when I think of you, I think of like that fun, fit girl. And that is the brand that you have created, from delivering like programs and in that community that you've built.
Yeah. And then like, as you were saying, the learning disabilities, that's another huge thing for me because like with ADD, diagnosed when I was 18 and now I'm 31, it's like, it doesn't go away. You just have to learn how to manage it. And what the Done For You programs did was like, it put everything I wanted to create into something that was already created. And then having the ability to just like put my own spin on it, but have a system, because everyone wants a plan. Everyone wants a system. It's like so much like information in all directions from friends, family, books, online articles. It's like, oh my God, can someone just give me like something simple? And so when like I took that Revitalize program and I
love that program.
Oh my God, I love that program. It's so simple. And like I was thinking, how do I like rebrand this? Because like Revitalize, I love that word, but for me it's different. And so I, put it as Keep It Simple, Sister. And then like, just kind of crafted it into like this like a gold mine for people with ADD who were like looking for something but didn't want to get bored eating the same like egg whites and oatmeal every day, because like I bought those programs and those suck and you do those for like 3 days.
Well, when I created that program, it was when Gabby Bernstein came out with a little more, it was the ING, like that one book, More Ing in Your Life. And I was and then she came out with another book where it was like, Change Your Life in 30 Days. And I remember I was rebounding because I was like trying to change my crazy head personality. I was like, I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to rebound. I'm going to change my mindset. And I was reading that book and I was like, wow, this is perfect for me. I need you to tell me like every day what to do. Like if you're not telling me, every one of my clients are the same way. Men or women, they are busy. They just want you to be like, watch this YouTube video. Tell me when to skin brush. Tell me, like, keep it simple, because I'm like, no. Exactly. But when I read that book, I was like, wow, it's so spiritual. It's so mind. It's so body. It's so everything. I have to put this all together. And that's why I created, because I was like, it's never just the food on your plate. Like I learned that from Janine Roth. Like that was what I heard all the time. Like, go back into your soul, never just the food on your plate. And so, that's why I love what you did. It's like your programs for me, when I look at your branding, it's so much that it's not just about the food. It's creating that sisterhood. It's like, it's almost like you're creating online retreats for these people and offline retreats. And that's like, when I look at what you've done with the programs, like, you've applied them in so many areas and you have found that voice. You sat there and you stood back and you said, what would I want to read? What would help me? What would be great for me? And that, in essence, is what we do to create our business, especially our signature programs.
Exactly. That's like when you said like the online sisterhood and the offline sisterhood. That's exactly like, or the online and offline retreats. It's like online when you join like a group, awesome, and then you have that sisterhood, and then like with this retreat,
you hear my dog.
What?
You hear my dog? My pug's like.
No, I didn't even hear it. I thought it was your son.
No, it's my dog. Real life. This is real life, guys.
But
the retreat.
I have this retreat coming up in April, and I wanted to make it like homemade food, and I'm like, oh my god, the retreat is April 1st, and what better food to serve than the spring detox food? So I'm just gonna like plan everything out and then like give them an intro. I'm giving all the retreat people like free spring detoxes, and it's like I don't even have to think about it. Yeah. I just know like this food is good for you. This food will make you feel good, and when you leave after 3 days, like this food, you're just gonna go home and you're gonna be glowing, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, why is my look? Because you were eating like the best juices, smoothies, and like food ever, and I'm like so excited.
But I think that even brings up another point, which is like, as a coach, once you kind of learn your system, it's like what you just said, and knowing you over the years of coaching, it's like you just were like, oh, this is easy. I don't even have to think about it. Because once we learn our system, it's not that we're not always trying to maybe up-level our business or change or transform, or maybe we want to do different things. But once you know, like, wow, this one thing works for me, then you can do a retreat. You can do all these things that you never thought maybe were possible.
Well, that's why, like, when you are releasing these programs, I know every single time I'm going to buy them, because I know, like, one, they're so good for you, and they are promoting health, like, for everyone that takes them. And two, because they're amazing, I don't have to create something. I just have to put my little jazz spin on it. And then, like, I know I'm going to buy them every time because of, like, the wealth of knowledge.
Aw, you are so sweet. We are literally starting to break up because you're like freezing and then not freezing. Frozen. So I think we should wrap up before we freeze, because it's probably... so can you tell everyone where they can find you? Check you out on your website?
So, check me out. Website is fitgirlseattle.com, and Instagram is fitgirl.seattle. Facebook, same thing, it's FitGirl Seattle. And then if you want to connect, it's really simple. It's just j@fitgirlseattle.com. So, like, just remember FitGirl Seattle and you're good to go.
Thank you, honestly. I know we got cut off like at different times, but I think what's so valuable about this is that you shared so much information for other coaches, like whether you're a new coach or an existing coach, that it's like a program isn't just applicable in this one area. Like, we can take this in so many different directions. We can even relaunch a program. We can repurpose a program. We can, create retreats from a program. It's like, that's what for me is so cool, is seeing how you've also like made them really your own. And that is, for me, that's the whole reason that I create these, why they're like copyright free, so that we can go and like brand ourselves. And because we're not cookie cutter, and nobody should have a cookie cutter business, because that doesn't really work. And it doesn't mean that you can't take the program and just, literally use the PDFs and start if you're so tech deficient and get your feet wet, but still your message, like your marketing, make your voice come through, because they're buying you. The programs are just like, the content, the thing to stand on.
Exactly.
So I love you. Thank you so much for being here, girl. I appreciate all the mad respect to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, JJ. And everyone, check out JJ. She's the real deal. Bye, guys.